Welcome back.
Campfire.
Let's continue. Who's gonna read it first?
Me? Okay. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios.
Medium agree for me.
A.
Yeah? Yeah, I daydream a lot. Especially now during quarantine. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that.
Yeah.
You medium agree
Yeah.
too?
I daydream a lot, but like not to like the super like 100% agree extent, but a lot. So in the middle.
I would say more now, like
Yeah.
when you're by yourself.
There would be
Before I
times
would
when
say-
I'm in the washroom just brushing and suddenly I just daydream and I start talking. I'm like in the daydream. You know, like those times where you trance off, those kind of things.
Yeah, I put middle agree too.
Oh.
Oh, we do that a lot.
Oh.
We're creative people.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, we are, yeah. You look after yourself first and others come in second.
That's tough. When do you draw the line?
Ooh, that's hard.
I mean, we need to eat. We need to sleep. We need to have the energy.
Parents might not feel that way, right?
Yeah.
It's always the kids first.
I think it might seem selfish, but I'm gonna go 100% agree. Because I think I've learned the hard way that if I don't take care of myself, then I won't be able to take care of other people. Because, I mean, there are times where I do think of other people, you know? Oh, I have food, I'll just give it to other people. But that's when I'm not hungry, when I'm not tired, when I'm not, you know, whatever. I think when I don't take care of myself, I wouldn't even have the energy to think about other people because I'm just so tired and so hungry. I'm so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It might seem selfish, but there's also a thing called being too selfless.
Yes.
I'm in the agree side. I just don't know where.
Just don't know how much.
Yeah, cause like when this thing started, I was more worried about my parents and all, cause it had a much more effect on elder people, right? I mean, our parents aren't that young either anymore, so in that case, I barely actually thought about. But it never happened, right? It never happened to us. It was happening around, so I don't know how different I would have actually acted. So I don't know. Middle agree, maybe.
Middle agree. Hannah?
Yeah, I would say middle agree too. Because I like to look after people too, but like what you said, it's important to look after yourself first, to have the energy, to have the ability to actually give your time and your just whatever you can to other people. But yeah, middle agree.
I'll put middle agree. Same reasons.
No other comments?
I don't think so. Everyone's already said it. All right, whose turn is it?
You.
Oh, even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment.
I 100% agreed. I 100% agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, it's talking about planned a particular daily routine. Well, I don't have a planned particular daily routine to start with. But even if I had one, I'm more of a go with the flow person. So, yeah.
For me, I try to set a routine, but it just doesn't work. Like I just end up. Nah, this is too tiring. Let me just go back to YouTube. Let me just go back. I want to, but yeah, I just end up doing what's most comfortable, which is not always good. But sadly, most of the time, most of the days that we've had, like during quarantine, I just do whatever, whatever it is. So
Yeah. I think I'm on the agree side as well, but don't know how much I agree because right before I got injured, I had a very not strict, but I had a daily routine, and I was sticking to it pretty well because it's actually a routine that I really liked. But when I got injured, I couldn't work out in the afternoon. I couldn't do what I originally was doing, so I kind of lost the rhythm, and now I'm still recovering for it because now I can't. I've lost the routine of working out like every day at night, and I've lost the discipline to control myself, you know. So I think like you as well, I just tend to be on my phone, which I really wish not. So I'm gonna have to go like middle agree.
I haven't really decided which one yet, but I'm pretty sure it's in the agree side as well. I'll say medium agree. Cause usually I don't really have a daily routine, but the one thing that I usually stick with was like I always take a shower every morning. Like usually, cause if I'm too lazy, and that's very rarely the showering part. I usually shower every morning, but then there's times when I do shower at night instead, so that I don't have to do it in the morning. And then yeah, so I feel like there are moments like that where I'm too lazy to stick with routines. So yeah, but I still do. Yeah. The next question? Oh, whose turn is it?
Okay.
No, you explain? Oh.
Oh. No, are we on the next question?
Did you explain your answer? Oh.
Okay. I can't keep track.
Yeah. Okay. Your mood can change very quickly.
100% agree, man.
Yes.
I'm so sensitive. Like when it comes to watching movies or listening to songs, I'm so sensitive to. Like I cry easily, I get mad easily. It's like the littlest of things or even the biggest. I don't know, anything can honestly change my mood. And I don't necessarily know if that's a good thing or not. I'm still trying to figure out the balance between that. Because I think before, especially grade 11, I wasn't very sensitive. I was kind of numb to everything. So I didn't have to deal with my emotions. I had to deal with my lack of emotions. And now I'm trying to deal with my surplus of emotions. So it's kind of... I mean, I don't know if it's a bad thing being very sensitive and very emotional. So I'm trying to... Yeah, I do change my mood very quickly. Just don't know if it's a good thing or not.
Next. I said middle agree. Because there are times it just changes very quick. But I don't know, I think it used to change quicker. Like very rapidly. It's gotten a bit slower, so that's why I said middle agree.
I say middle agree. Yeah, middle agree too. I think my mood changes, but I don't think my face says it.
Yeah, it doesn't show at all. Yeah.
Like my mood, I can tell like how I feel,
Inside.
but I don't think people
Yeah.
people will be able to tell
Yeah.
unless I say that I'm
Yeah.
actually annoyed at it. So I do get my mood does change quickly from time to time. Not everything. I try to like shake things off if it's ooh. If it's like explosive stuff, you know, or if it's minor stuff. But my mood does change. It probably just doesn't show, but my mood changes. It does. It changes.
Well, question then: do you purposely hide it, or you just can't? You just have a hard time showing
No,
it?
I just don't. I don't think I just show it like that way. Like obviously, like show my emotions. Obviously, I think that's just how I show in my emotions. Not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how you are.
Yeah. It's not that I hide it. It's just. That's just.
This happened to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happened not to.
I put 100% agree on this one.
Hey.
I, as a person, I'm just sensitive overall. Even when I get hurt, it's
Well,
like
that's pain tolerance.
my pain tolerance too. It's very sensitive as well. But like, I think, emotion wise, I'm just very sensitive. I don't really like it, honestly, because I feel like I'm getting like too swayed by, you know, the littlest things. I don't like that. And like you can't even like see it in my face. It's so obvious when I get sour. Like you can just tell I'm not happy. It's so hard for me to keep a straight face. Like that one time I lost $5 at school. I was just so upset. You know, it was when, what was it, like turkey dinner? When was it? Like
Grade 12?
yeah, I think it was this year. Like I abruptly left. But yeah, I'm just very sensitive. That's it.
I think I show my emotions more because my brother, he really knows how to annoy me. So yeah, he really knows. So when I'm annoyed, I will show it on my face. Stop! I always say stop. He won't stop.
Of course you won't. I was surprised. I thought as a younger kid, you would be the one, because like, it's my brother who annoys me. You know?
Oh,
Do you not?
But you know what? That's another podcast episode. Being the youngest, the middle child, the only child, the oldest child.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Next question.
I only have 6% left, but I will.
Oh no.
I will just, you guys read the questions and then I'll answer. When I reach 0.
Yeah, we'll just do it to the max.
Yeah.
She needs to read it.
You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Philosophical question.
I don't think I've ever even thought about the meaning of life. I just live it. Because it's a question. I mean, as much as I like philosophical ideas, not about life. I think not about the meaning of life. Because first of all, it's a very cliche question that everyone's asked like as a joke, so it's kind of lost its meaning. But also, yeah, the meaning of life, there's like so many meanings. There's like how there's different people and what they like in life, whatever. A very long question, very long answer. So I don't even bother. I just do it, you know? Just live life. So I think I'm 100% disagree.
Contemplate, that means like, are you searching for the reasons why? Like you're searching for the reasons?
You thinking about it?
in general.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with like if you also like grew up in a faith-based home, like or like your religion too. For me, I never really questioned it because I grew up like going to church, but like believing in God, like believing in that.
Like
deeper
essentially the
meaning.
answer was given to you.
Yeah. So I don't contemplate on like the other side.
Hmm.
Well, I want to hear that too, but my belief is that Yeah. So I don't have those thoughts and like what is the meaning of life. But I understand where they're coming from if they ask that question.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's interesting because I mean I also live in a house that's religious, but I've never really thought of it that way.
I said middle disagree. Because, oh wait, I remember saying completely agree for those philosophical ones. Because I like it, but this is very specific. And you're like contemplating the reasons. I don't go to like it's not like I do it in a daily routine or something. I mean, I just try to maybe understand it and live the best I can.
It's a complicated question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it can get very depressing.
It could.
It could. Yeah, you're like, okay, what's the meaning of life? To be happy? Well, does it matter to be happy? Like you can go into like a very deep, very sad, very dark rabbit hole.
I put middle disagree for this one because I just never really needed to think about it. I don't see why I need to think about it. There's a lot of things that goes on in your life. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm not going like, why do you need to find the reason why? I'm just like, there's just focus on what's going on right now. You know, why? You're like going so in depth into that kind of thing when you can just focus on the people around you, the things that you're doing right now. It's just, I feel like life itself is like moving around you. Don't try to think about it too much, kind of thing. I just feel bad for people who do think. I mean, it's not a bad thing to think about it. It's just,
The people who go down their dark rabbit hole.
yeah. It's just, I'm not saying it's not healthy, but it's just not really good either. But I don't know.
You know what? I feel like I have thought about the meaning of life indirectly by thinking about the reasons why I want to live. So it's not the meaning of life, it's the meaning of my life in a way.
Yeah.
Why I want to live. But that's like different from the meaning of life.
Life in general.
Anyway, next. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. We are doing that right now.
Just know, yeah.
Who would like to go first?
I said little agree. Because, yeah, right now we're talking about it. But I don't always do it. But it's not like I don't do it either. Yeah. It's just sometimes it could be hard to find the person to talk your feelings about. Like, there's just some stuff you can have a person who you really like know very well, but there are some feelings you just can't talk to them about. And yeah, you have to have the right people to talk about it too. Yeah. But yeah, I do talk about it, but not always. So yeah.
I put 100% agree. I think if I answered this in grade 11, I always reference that, but that's definitely like an important part of my life. I would have said like 100% disagree. Again, I was very numb and I was very closed off as well. I wouldn't have talked to anyone about how I felt. Maybe besides the counselor.
Mr. Counselor.
Yeah, Mr. Counselor.
Almost slipped there.
But now, I've said this in the birthday letters I wrote for all of you guys too, actually. I've grown to be very, very open with you guys. And I am very open about my feelings and emotions because I think back then in grade 11, I was so closed off and I was so numb. And part of the reason why I was so numb is because I didn't open up to anyone. I didn't talk about how I felt. I just kept putting it off, just like, oh, whatever, my feelings don't matter, it's fine, I don't need to talk about it. Now that I'm thankfully out of that phase and a little bit more in touch with my emotions, I try to be as open as possible because I'm sick of hiding it already. I just want to be, honest, how I feel. No matter how good or how bad I feel, I try to be as honest as possible because it helps me a lot. And I mean, you never know. In the future, it might help someone else. Just like being open might make them realize, oh, I can be open as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, 100% agree.
I said middle agree because I think in my life, someone that I can go to and anytime or like after school, like to say anything that, or share my feelings to is really like my mom. So like we have like really good conversations. Like she can be on a different side or she can be on a different side of the conversation, but she's gonna be there to listen or like say her opinion on it. So I think it's important to have an adult where you can say your feelings to. And also friends to say your emotions to. I would say all of my emotions to my to my parents. So what I do is I write it down.
Yeah,
in
that's a good way
a
to
journal.
express it.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't say everything, but even school stuff, I talk to my mom about it.
Like quizzes.
I mean, sometimes, not like that, but yeah, not everything, but a lot of things I can talk to her about it. But just having someone that you can talk to about how you feel, even at your own house or like even your own friends, it's really important. If just for your mental health, right? Just to don't keep it inside, or just write it down. Like even if you don't want anyone to.
But I gotta make sure that person is emotionally available.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
carry that burden.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I need to look at the. Oh, I'll put a small agree in this one. I don't talk to my parents about the stuff. I mean, emotional wise, I don't talk to my parents about these stuff. That kind of thing. So it's like, it's so hard to talk of. I just don't know. I don't know why I can't talk to them about it. I'm just not. I feel like my parents aren't the type of people who, I'm not saying emotionally accept, but it's like I just don't know how to talk to them about these stuff, kind of thing. And even now, I don't know how to talk about it because I just try to, like, the things that I whine about, they're very little stuff. Like, they're very minimal or something like that. It's just not that big. But, like, the bigger things, I try to, like, draw a line there so that I don't want to burden you guys with the things that, that's happening. And then... And then I also don't want to burden my parents about that as well.
It will die out, I think.
Okay. And that's why I'm actually a little bit jealous of Ria, because she has like a counselor to talk about these kind of things. And I don't know who to, like, talk to these things about. Because I don't know how heavy it is for you guys, because like I don't know the extent of like the weight of my feelings kind of thing. And even now it's so hard to talk. It's a little awkward for me because I don't know how to put it in. But yeah, I just put middle. Small agree.
Well, to talk more about the counselor thing, the idea of having a counselor never popped in my head, ever. Because I mean, in the Philippines, the topics of mental health and stuff like that are things you would never ever talk about.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, it's almost taboo.
Yeah.
It's actually a teacher I had in grade 9 who offered me to have a counselor because she saw me going through something very heavy. And I really do wish everyone else had a counselor, because the stuff that I talked to my counselor about, it began with very heavy stuff that I couldn't handle on my own, especially since I wasn't even a teen. I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to deal with that as a kid. But over the years, it's not like I can just talk about that forever. I talk to him about the smallest things sometimes. Things that I'm struggling with, like crushes. That's not as heavy as you might think, but it's something that you have to learn how to deal with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The light things like people I'm annoyed at, you know who. I talk to him about that as well, because I talk to him about a lot of things. Just my emotions in general, no matter how heavy or how light. And that was really, really an important part in my growth, my emotional growth. Like, I seriously can't imagine where I'd be without that counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very fortunate, and I wish, everyone else, especially those who need it, could have one.
Yeah.
Next.
Nice. Oh, me? My turn. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. Oh my goodness. The extent of mine is only for like 2 years.
Yeah, mine's only for like 4 years.
Yeah.
It's not detailed either.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's very rough.
Yeah.
A rough outline.
Disagree.
Yeah, put medium disagree
Yeah,
too.
it's not that.
It's quite rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the schedules,
Yeah.
but I don't.
We don't even
plan
know how
for
that's
it.
gonna work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
I have a medium disagree too.
I put 100% disagree. Alright. Who's next?
It was Rooney.
You rarely dwell on your regrets.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. I think there's a similar question to this earlier.
Yeah.
And I also said 100%. I do not focus on my regrets. I try to live life not making any decisions I'll regret. I think that's one of my life mottos. Yeah, one of the things that drive me when I make a decision. I do not want to make anything that I would regret in the future.
Okay.
Even if I have any, I'll just try to learn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't think about it every day or,
Just Rex, the piece that the new day comes. With.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it crosses my mind, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
how you deal with it, or how you choose to deal with it.
Yeah.
I would say middle. Agree.
You?
Oh, me?
No. Did you already
Oh,
say
I really
answer?
said.
No,
I agreed. But
My turn. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and need of a getaway.
Ooh, dynamic.
Dynamic. even in a non-dynamic atmosphere with the people I like in a small group like this, I get very drained. So way more if I'm in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people, because I'm not even that much of an extroverted person. So yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, I would agree too.
More agree, because I don't always get drained. I mean, I won't let people bug me, but I mean, it's not always either, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. I'm gonna have to disagree 100%. I think there are situations where you have to be realistic, but overall, I am quite the visionary. I think I'm quite idealistic in my beliefs.
Pass the baton too.
Yeah.
How would you describe visionary?
Yeah.
You know how we were talking about a possible world without money? I would think that it's actually possible. Like, I would believe in things that aren't necessarily practical, but I would, you know. Yeah.
You have a vision.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, this is hard. Neutral?
Neutral?
I don't know why though.
I just say because I like to daydream.
I would say middle agree. Because I can definitely see more the realistic side, but it's fun. It's fun
Yeah.
to be a visionary.
I think you're just always thinking the reality of everything.
Yeah.
Next.
You find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you never had.
Is it?
I feel like my answers are very black and white. It's like very 100% agree, 100% disagree, but I am 100% agree. Because I mean,
If you've
yeah,
gone-
like I said before, I am very emotional, and I can empathize really easily, especially about things I've never experienced. Like the K-drama I'm watching right now, which I mentioned, I've never experienced that kind of love before. You know, just like childish love, but nothing like that. But it still feels so real to me when I watch, when I cry, when I feel happy inside. It still feels like a real emotion, even though I've never gone through it myself.
I'm gonna say middle agree. I mean, I'll try to be nice, but there are sometimes I just cannot understand or relate, even if I try. Yeah.
I don't know. I just put neutral for this. Because rather than empathizing with someone, I feel sympathy. So let's say like that person's like sick. Like, that's not something I've ever... Like sick, like you can't cure it, that kind of thing. I don't empathize with it. I sympathize with it. Because I don't know... I don't really know the feeling of what they're going through. Like, I can think of what they might be going through, but I can't feel that way. I can only, like, feel bad kind of thing.
No, that's making me want to go neutral.
Yeah, that made me switch to middle agree.
Yeah, I think I'm still on middle agree too. It's hard to hear, you know, things that people have gone through, but yeah, it's hard to imagine that. But I think it's nice to kind of see how it might feel like in their shoes and from their perspective, even though it's not something you've ever gone through. That's what makes it hard though. It's hard to imagine it, but it's yeah.
Who's next?
Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organized and consistent efforts.
I'd say for now, 100% agree.
It's the
Yeah.
quarantine lifestyle,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I really want to have a consistent effort, but sometimes I get so much done in a short amount of time. It's like I should have done this sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
If it's just gonna take me a few hours, but I
Yeah.
ended up procrastinating on it for months.
Mm-hmm. For real.
I'm gonna have to go small agree. Because when it comes to things that need constant practice, like taekwondo and like music, I am organized because I know I need to be consistent. But when it comes to creative things like, I don't know, projects, art projects, songs, it's very random. Because it's when it comes to something related to creativity, it's hard to force it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to wait for it to come out naturally.
I said neutral. Because the last 2 days, I finished 2 essays in like an hour and a half. That was a burst of energy.
Wow!
Holy
Doesn't
crap.
happen always. That's why I'm going in neutral. Yeah.
Holy!
But yeah, it's both ways. It just depends on what it is.
Oh my gosh, only 10% of the questions left.
Okay. Yeah.
Next.
You.
Oh,
It's you!
I agreed with. Yeah.
Hannah.
Okay. Your emotions control you more than you control them.
Ooh.
Man, this. It's not the corona. It's not the corona. She's just looking. Anyone?
Okay.
Yeah, emotions control you. Control them.
Wants to say? Wants to talk?
I don't know. I still need to think about my answer. Aruna was gonna talk though.
I said little disagree. They used to control me more than it does now. Oh. I don't know, maybe it's not a little disagree, maybe it's a little agree. But yeah, I do try to keep them under control at times. Ooh.
All right. Who wants to say?
I think I'm a little more on the agree, but a very slight agree. Because I have this saying in my head where don't let your mood control your actions, let your actions control your mood. That's my way of trying to discipline myself into not being lazy and using my emotions as an excuse. But at the same time, like I've said, I've become very emotional. So it's been kind of hard to control them. So at times they do control me, so to the point where I've been getting overwhelmed by emotions a lot, not in a bad way. Being overwhelmed by positive emotions a lot, to the point where I don't know what to do. So small agree.
I would have to say I'm small disagree because for me, I can sense when I think my emotions are gonna drive me to make a decision that I might regret in the future. But there's times where I let my emotions overcome me, and then the outcome is not the best. So I try to learn from that. Like with what Aruni said, I feel like when I was younger too, I used to be more like emotionally driven, like they did this to me, like like in grade school, like this, that, or like in junior high, things happen that it seems like such a big deal, right? But I feel like through just with experience or whatever you go through, you learn to it depends on you too. You learn to handle it, or to see okay, is this gonna, if I'm gonna choose to be driven by emotion, what's the consequence? Like, but that doesn't always happen to me. So I would say small disagree, middle, or no, small disagree. Like in that.
The
range.
tiny,
I still don't
yeah.
know. I still don't know.
I think I put a middle agree for this one, just because my sensitivity as a person. I think nowadays I try to like suppress it a lot. Like letting my emotions control my actions, and yeah. I'm just trying to suppress them, like, cause I don't want to be like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to Minecraft. I don't want to Minecraft. No, I just don't want to do something that I might regret, just because I was overcome by that emotion at that time. Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. All right.
Next. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need.
Huh?
You want to disagree 100%.
Yeah, disagree 100%.
I think this is there any other comments? I mean,
No.
our previous
Why
answers-
can't we just sleep?
Our previous answers kind of
Yeah.
suffice. Yeah.
Right. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life.
Elon Musk would.
Elon Musk, the hero. Yes, he'll bring us to Mars, won't he? Who wants to say first?
Just because of coronavirus and the fact that we've been talking a lot through FaceTime, I would say small agree, but I've never thought about technology. I don't think about technology that much.
You think about your own advancement. I'm kidding.
I think it's because we were born into the generation.
Yeah.
Very, very slight agree. Very, very small.
It's when the elders rub it in your face that we had it better.
Okay, yeah. The washing machine, I get it, yeah.
Didn't have to do with your hands? Okay.
I see.
Alright.
Dishwashing machine too?
Yeah.
I get it.
Cell phones didn't have to send a bird to,
I get it.
mail you.
Understand.
A pigeon, yeah.
I just know I understand.
He's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think about it that much. But recently, 2 weeks ago, I watched the SpaceX launch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How was
and
changing?
It was so cool. Like, I never knew that my brother had like interest in NASA stuff like that, SpaceX stuff like that. So he explained to me like, this, that. And NASA actually has, oh my god, I'm becoming a space geek. I found out recently that NASA has contributed to so many technologies that we take for granted. I don't even think about that. But I was like, whoa, this is insane. So, but I don't think about that. I don't really think about technology, or like, I'm not like a technological mind person, who's good at like computer science, coding. I'm not that type of person. But recently I have a little bit of interest. It's like, whoa, you can fly people into
9-hour
space.
flight. 9-hour
Yeah.
flight,
And I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Their computers hold the universe's secrets.
So small.
I said small disagree. Like, I think about it. It's just not frequently. There are other stuff I do more frequently than think about technology. So I can't really say I frequently think about it. Yeah.
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 I just said a small agree for this one too. I don't really think about it, I just think we're blessed to have like the technology that we have today. But I don't think about, you know, how technology is gonna advance. I'm not always like, oh my gosh, tomorrow, you know, flying cars kind of thing. You
It was
know,
supposed to be this year, wasn't it?
yeah, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be. And then like shoes that tie up their own laces, that kind of thing.
Oh, why hasn't anyone made that?
Yeah. Just wear slip-on shoes kind of thing. Right? I don't Crocs, yeah. It's, oh, thank God for technology today, but I just don't think much about it, I guess.
I feel like not only is it because we've been born into this generation, but also because so many technological advances happen every single day. We've kind of become numb to it.
Yeah.
The one day you'll say, "Oh, you got drones. Oh, oh, okay, okay, new stuff here." It's happening so fast.
Yeah, we're
It's
not
normal.
ungrateful for it. It's just we're normal.
Used to it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
used to it now.
Desensitized.
It's kind of weird when you use desensitized. It's-
Yeah.
Hey, I
Eh.
get it.
New stuff. Okay.
Gee, what's
New
next?
phone. Okay. iPhone 4 cameras. Okay.
Oh
I get
my
it.
goodness. What's next? 10 cameras? Fill out the back.
It's like I just filled up.
The whole, like,
The
right
whole
there.
back.
Yeah.
Next.
All right, next question.
You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something.
Who wants to answer that? Oh, this is a hard one.
Yeah, I think so. It's not like I the first thing that comes to mind is when you're in a grocery. Yeah. Usually in a grocery and you got the cart, I always worry. Sometimes I get too obsessed with, oh my god, I need to drive in the right side of the lane, even though there it isn't even a traffic lane or whatever. Oh, I don't want to bump into other people. Oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally bumped into this person, something like that.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Oh, and I do this a lot. I think some of you guys might have noticed, but when I'm in the hallway, I try my best to be away from other people. And if I see one of my friends is in the way, I will pull them to the side. I think I've done it a couple times.
Yep, that's happened to me.
I pulled you aside. Yeah,
Sounds like she's getting in trouble. Pulled you aside.
yeah. Those
Pull
kind of
over,
things.
pull over.
Yeah, but I don't think it's talking about decisions, right? It's just actions.
Yeah.
Because decisions, I don't really care about. Like, if it's
Yeah.
decisions that's concerning me, I want, you know. Yeah. So maybe 100% agree.
All right, who's next? What's to say?
I say middle agree. Most of the time, I think how my parents are gonna feel about what I'm gonna do, or like if it's gonna affect my loved ones in a bad way or so. But it's not like I always do it, because there are sometimes you just have to do what makes you feel the best, or like does you the best, even though it doesn't necessarily, you know, not in a selfish way, but yeah. Wait, let me take a look at it again. Yeah, but it's not always. But it's not like I don't do it either. So, middle agree.
I would say middle agree too. Thank you. Middle agree because I really like to think about how I speak, how I bring up my opinions, or how I tell someone about something that they're going through will make them feel, but not all the time. But it's something that's always like in the back of my mind, because like I care about those people, right? Like I don't want to say things that I don't mean, so I like to think about it. So maybe that's why I'm so quiet. It's because I'm thinking about how should I address this. how should I do this? Well, maybe I should be a little more vocal instead of just thinking about it all the time, you know. I do like to think about that a lot, but not always.
I put middle agree for this one. What was the reason? Oh, because when I thought about this, I was thinking about fast food. So, not even fast food, just eating outside or doing something in public in general. Because after we eat, I always clean up. Like, I stack the plates and then I wipe the table because I feel bad for the workers, you know. It's been a rough day probably for them. And I've already experienced that kind of thing. And I'm always happy to, like, see people who actually do clean up the tables. Like, they go the extra mile when they don't need to, but it's like, you know, it's just courtesy.
Yeah.
It's very nice of them. It makes me happy. And so, you know, it's nice to do that too. And it's like, I think everyone at least should have done it once. It's like, yeah, it's something just nice. Anyways, next.
Who's asking the next question?
Okay. You still honor the commitments you have made even if you have a change of heart.
Can we give a scenario?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. Like, there's many kinds of commitments. Let's give one example, like a commitment in a relationship. You're committed to this person, but then you've had a change of heart. Would you still stay? That's one example. Another example would be a promise that you've made to someone, but then you realize that, you know, it isn't what you believe anymore. It isn't a promise you would make anymore. Maybe a commitment, like an appointment, a meeting with a friend, but you've had a change of heart.
The degrees of the problem is like very,
Yeah.
very big.
I mean, when it comes to the relationship, if you've had a change of heart, I think you need to leave. Why would you make yourself suffer and in turn making your partner or that other person suffer when you're not you're not giving you 100% in that relationship, right? But when it's like a promise or something, or when it's a promise, you made that promise. If you had a change of heart and it comes from a genuine place, then fine, I understand that. But if it comes from the fact that you didn't think about the promise enough, that's just rashness. That's just stupidity. You didn't think about it enough. You didn't give yourself enough time. The appointment, if you have a change of heart, I don't know what. Like, you committed to a date or something, then you had a change of heart. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it's your heart. Do whatever you want. So it's quite varying answers to varying situations.
I think I have to stay neutral to this one. Because, the situations vary so much that you could defend, like, your position for any of it. To what extent
To what extent
do you honor your commitments?
To what extent will you honor your commitment?
Yeah, I'd have to think more about that, but I'd be neutral for now.
Yeah, I'll stay neutral for this too, because honestly, there's like too many things that could happen. It varies. So, like, I'll just stay neutral on this one.
Well, I said small agree. Because, I don't know, I might have made those commitments at that time for reasons. And, I don't know. I probably had a good reason to do it, and I'm just gonna go with it. But it's not like I'm gonna... How do I say it? Like, not bound to it either, right?
You said small agree?
Yeah. Does that make sense? That's a hard question. Yeah. I'm not gonna like hate it or anything. Like, you know, if I don't like it, I'll just try to forget, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm gonna go small disagree. Because I think I have trust that whatever commitment I made, it would be a commitment that I've thought of very much. And if I do have a change of heart, I also have trust that I will make sure that the change of heart is not just like on a whim. It's something that I really, really thought about as well. So if I've made a commitment and suddenly I've had a change of heart and it's for a valid reason, you know, I'm gonna follow my heart.
Last question. Yeah.
Is this the
last
Is this the last?
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Who's?
is it me? You rarely feel insecure.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Middle disagree.
Middle agree.
I said small disagree.
Okay, explain your answers. Who would like to go first?
I don't know,
know
like
who to pass
two
the
two years ago. I don't know, like last year or maybe in grade 10 or grade 9, it would have been either like a middle agree or like 100%. Sorry, middle agree, middle disagree, or like 100% disagree. But I've moved away from that a bit. I'm trying to move even away from it, but it's a slow process. But still, there's a bit progress there. But yeah, I definitely still feel insecure at times. Yeah, it depends on like where, what, how I'm feeling, who, like if there's people who they are. I don't feel insecure with you guys.
Yeah.
Or like my family, but if I'm doing like a presentation in front of a
Yeah.
class, I'm gonna be insecure there.
I went middle agree. Think in middle school, in my earlier years, I was quite insecure about every single thing about myself, and I think that it's part of that's due to the fact that the Philippines can tend to have a very judgmental kind of culture, which is very unhealthy, especially to a kid. Thankfully, I've grown out of that, but I do have my insecurities. I think everyone has. How can you not have any insecurities? But I don't think about them that much because I have full faith that the people that I've surrounded myself with don't care about that they've loved me for who I am. And so I don't feel insecure that often. And this kind of made me think of something. Like, I feel like I wouldn't have had this answer if I wasn't surrounded by good people. Like you guys. And I'm realizing now how different my answers are from before. Which made me think of this quote I saw somewhere, that sometimes you really are just made up of the people around you. Because I would be so insecure if I was with like people who were toxic. I was around toxic people when I was younger, but now, you know, I'm with much better people and I rarely feel insecure. There are those times, but of course there always are those days where you feel insecure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have faith that the people who care for me the most, they don't care about those kind of things.
I changed my answer to small disagree, but I still disagree because I'm going to be honest, with the more time that you have to yourself, you have more time, for me at least, to look in the mirror. to really like assess yourself. That's what I've been doing. to just see your imperfections. Like, there's some days you feel good about it, some days you don't. But I wouldn't be saying the truth if I said like I have no insecurities, because I do. And I guess, yeah. When you have more time to yourself, like you see it, right? You see it, but it's how you handle it. It's how you. The thoughts will never really go away, like the insecurities.
It's how you deal with the thought
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. So I would say, small disagree. Yeah. We finished it.
Julia's last.
All right. I'll change my answer too. Actually,
What was it originally?
it was a medium disagree.
What is it now?
I'll put it to small disagree.
Hmm.
The the only reason why is that I think the same thing as Ria. The Philippines really did a number on me.
Yeah. Not everybody,
Yeah.
just the environment we happen to
Yeah.
be in.
I don't want to say the school that I was in was like very narrow.
The environment you were in.
Yeah. It just wasn't really ideal. You know, it's not a good. I don't think that it should be a place where, you know, a child should thrive and grow in. Like, there's no reason to label children and, you know,
Criticize them.
yeah,
for
criticize
things
them.
that are Not important.
Yeah. I don't understood. I understand. Jeez. I don't understand. I just feel like a lot of the things that happened to me back then, it's still, there's still a part of me that's holding on to it, kind of thing. You know?
I mean, it's something that's happened
Yeah.
when you were a kid.
Yeah. I'm not trying to hold on to it. It's just like a trauma kind of thing, maybe. You know, I never. It was normal for me back then, kind of thing. But now that I'm here, you know, with better people, with a better environment, kind of thing. That's when I realized how toxic it was.
Yeah.
It just was not good. And so that's why I switched it over, because
Yeah.
it made me realize that how better my position is just now. So yeah.
Yeah. See
Alright.
the results?
All
Let's
right.
finish off by seeing who we are. What
All right.
I'm the same. I'm an INFP, but this time I'm A. I'm on the assertive type.
I don't know what's going on. It's a defender.
Mine's the low.
ISFJ.
You're what?
ISFJ.
IFF?
ISFJ.
That's so different. That's so different from INFP.
Whoa, this is so different.
What is it called,
loading.
Rooney?
Where does it say?
No, the name. The name. Because mine's mediator, INFP,
Oh, I have defender.
defender. Is it still... What color is your...
Bluish.
We're not even the same type anymore.
What? This is.
Hannah.
I'm ISFP.
That's what you were before, Julia.
Yeah.
ISFP, the adventure.
I am mediator. INFPT. T though.
Oh, still.
What happened? I was like, I used to be. What happened?
Wait, you're an INFP? Well, T and A just means how turbulent. Like
Wow.
you're indecisive or you're decisive, you know?
Well, I'm a very turbulent person.
That for me, that's the thing that's always changed. When I would be in a bad place in my life, I would be turbulent. I guess now I'm more assertive.
Yeah.
Quickly go through the percentage of each one. So Aruni,
Extroverted 28%. Introverted 72%. And then for energy.
wait, just do it one by one. Like,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
sorry, it's okay.
So I have 75% introverted.
Damn, 67% introverted.
I'm 65%.
I mean, we're all pretty much introverts. Yeah. Then start from you. Talk about the energy.
Just the highlighted portion.
Yeah.
63% observant.
Huh? Really? 60 what?
63% observant.
I'm 69% intuitive. I'm guessing that's like, it says the trait shows where we direct our mental energy, when outwards or inwards. Because,
I have 53% intuitive.
I'm
Very-
54% observant.
5?
54.
You guys are very much like, oh,
Oh, wait. I'll go with
it starts
nature.
with her.
Oh yeah.
For nature, I'm 72% feeling.
You're what?
72% feeling.
I have 60% feeling.
I'm 88% feeling.
81%.
Hey, it's like degrees.
Tactics.
Yeah.
This trait reflects our approach to work.
75% prospecting.
Mm.
What does prospecting?
I'm 60% prospecting.
Isn't that in Minecraft? Prospect.
I don't know.
Where is it? 74% prospecting.
I'm like 54% judging. Oh wait, identity.
Oh
yeah, identity.
56% assertive.
61?
56% assertive.
I'm 85% turbulent.
85% assertive.
54% assertive.
We're like the opposites of the INFP. Then they're like opposites.
Everyone's like
I
opposite.
still have the I and the F and the A, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're ISFJ? No, ISF. ISF.
ISF dash
I never thought it would be the same. I always thought me and Joy were like, we're not opposites, like complete opposites, but I always thought we were opposites somewhat.
Mhm.